Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I thought I was done making videos for today. I actually put away my stuff, copied all my videos to the folder, and I was pretty much done. And I felt good about being done because I felt like I just was not doing good today. Like the words were not coming out right. I was sounding stupid at what I was saying. It was just feeling very clunky and not how I want to present myself and how the videos and they didn't seem like see what I'm saying? They didn't come out the way I wanted them to. And it made me think about this a little bit. I actually had to turn the camera back on because I wanted to get real with you here about something here, which is, I mean, I wanted to, honestly, what I wanted to do was I wanted to go and delete the videos from the folder and say, all right, let me just redo those videos. Some book reviews I did, some other videos that I had done, and I realized that that's not the end. Like, I'm not in the right frame of mind. I feel like sometimes I'm on and I'm on fire, and I've talked about this a lot, but I want to keep on talking about this because this keeps on happening, and I want you to realize that there's going to be a lot of shit that you're going to produce that is going to be literally shit. That is not going to be good. It's not going to be your best stuff. It's not what you want. But the solution is not to go into the folder and delete the videos. The solution is to put it out there anyway. And some people will hate on you, and some people will say, oh, you're not respecting other people who have to read or consume your content and all that. And I don't think that that's true, because the thing is, you have to do it for you. And the reason why you have to do this, okay, I'll tell you why, is because you've got to get to a point, if you want to produce something, if you want to create things in the world, right, where you don't care about the result, the content. What I'm saying about that, whereas it's not so critical to you. If I'm so impinged, I don't think it's impinged. If I'm so dead set on success, if I'm so wrapped around this idea of creating the best videos of every time, of performing my best every time, it puts a lot of pressure. It puts a lot of stress. It makes it so that I'm much more likely to not actually produce and never get there. I have to be able to let go. I have to put all of this stuff out into the world, whether it's good or not, whether I like it or not, whether it's embarrassing to me to some degree or not, and resist that urge to delete videos from the folder that I didn't feel that came out well. It doesn't mean that I'll never re-record a video, right? I mean, I've had some videos where there wasn't any audio, or it was just a total goof, and it doesn't mean that. But it means that in general, I got to release stuff. I got to put it out there. And you have to do this too. Because if you're not willing to do that, then you're going to have too much riding on everything that you do. You got to be free. You got to be a little bit more loose. You got to be willing to go with the waves, right? And to accept that some days you're not going to do your best. And some days you're going to be down, and some days it's just not going to go the way that you want it to. And if you insist on redoing those days, if you insist on only performing when you're at your peak, then what's going to happen is that you're not going to feel like performing, because you're never going to feel like you're at your peak, and you're never going to be ready. And when things do hit you and you do have those down days, and what happens if you go for weeks at a time without being able to produce, without being in the zone, what happens then? Then you produce nothing. Then you go downhill, and you go down this downward spiral. So you've got to be able to really let go, to say, okay, you know what? This is the reality of today, right? I mean, I could be bullshit, I could be fake, and I could say, hey, you know what? Let me just delete all the bad videos that I do, and then I'll only put good ones up, and I'll only create videos when I'm in tip-top shape. And it's not like that's a horrible thing. I think a lot of people do that and have success with that, but that is not going to cause the growth that I want to cause, and it's going to be a lot more stressful way to do things. So I'm putting this out here just to let you know, just as a public service announcement, that you've got to do this. If you're struggling, if you're having trouble producing things and getting traction in your life, I've done some videos on being willing to suck, right? And this is along the same lines, right? Which is that be willing to not just to suck, okay, but to be bad at a given time, and to let that out there anyway, so that you can lose touch, so you can disconnect yourself from that feeling of having to be perfect, from that feeling of it having to be, I'm not saying don't have standards, but I'm saying that when you create some kind of an art, when you create something of this nature, you've got to be able to put more stuff out there. It doesn't mean that you don't ever polish things. It doesn't mean that you don't ever, really dress something up, because you do that at times. But when you're sculpting that clay, right, as soon as sometimes that malformed piece of clay, you got to let it become what it's going to become. And you got to put that out there and move on to the next block of clay. And that's how it goes. And part of it too, that I've found is that some of the stuff that you don't even know, right? You feel like you're having a down day. You feel like you're doing bad, right? And you feel like what you're saying is stupid and you're stumbling on your words. But everyone else doesn't. They connect with it. You've created something that people think is great, and you don't even know it. So that's what I have for you today. It's not the greatest, most uplifting message, but it's truth. It's reality, right? Is that you're going to face this at times, and then I constantly fight this battle, and I'll constantly fight this battle being someone who's creative, being someone who, to some degree, is an artist in a creative expression. I'm cognizant of the idea that I'm often going to have problems, that I'm often going to have those off days, and I'm deliberate in that I'm still going to produce, even if it's not the glorious thing that I want it to be, because that's the only way to get to the glorious things, right? That's the only way to get there, is to have that contrast. And to me, that's genuine. To me, that's real, right? Someday, maybe someday my dream would be that my bad would be better than my current good. So my worst day would be better than my best today. And the only way that that's going to come is if I let it all flow. Not just the good stuff flow, but it all flow through me. That's my thoughts on it. Feel free to disagree, but until next time what? I don't know. See, there we go. My brain is foggy. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.